Uncut. My name is Coach Devon Buchanan, and this is a show that gives youth a voice and an opportunity to discuss the things that mean most to them. Now, I'm excited because today is a little different show. Today, we're really going to highlight a youth program that's changing the face of soccer in not only the Philadelphia area, but the whole Delaware Valley, southeastern Pennsylvania, and just really making soccer more accessible and more affordable to everyone in this area. Today, I'd like to introduce Ryan Griffith of R&R Soccer Academy. How you doing today, man?
Good to be here.
I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on here. We've known each other for a long time. We have gone through the ups and downs of following and pursuing our passions. And so I'm excited to have you on here just to talk about your passion, which is youth soccer. You know how I feel about baseball. Everybody knows how I feel about baseball, and I know you love soccer just as much. So, first, why don't you just tell us who you are, a little bit about your background. Where are you from? Like, how did you get into soccer?
Soccer really started from the time I can walk. It's just from as far back as I remember, saw a ball and I loved it, or I fell in love with it, and it's been my first love ever since. So my name is Ryan Griffith. I'm the founder and creative director of our Soccer Academy and foundation, where we develop youth through soccer.
Okay.
That is the goal. Soccer is obviously the foundation, but the goal is really to develop these young women and boys to really, impact the community through the game.
Awesome. And so you said two things. So you have an R&R Soccer Academy, and then you have a foundation. Correct. So really, what's the difference or the goal between both of those two?
So, obviously in the beginning, the academy, was really the driving force for the foundation, because obviously from a capital standpoint, we had to raise funds.
Yeah.
So, individual training, small group training, team training, club training, that was vital really to get the foundation going, because I needed the funds essentially to make it a completely free program.
Yeah.
And that's always the goal. The goal is to make soccer affordable and accessible for the entire community.
Yeah.
So without having funds, I wasn't able to, I wouldn't have been able to really run the foundation. So the academy has really jump-started everything. Mm-hmm. But now it's so cool to see everything transpire at this point, and have now both the academy and foundation running at an even level.
Absolutely.
is pretty amazing.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so I want the audience to understand, because we're going to go through this. We're going to talk about the journey that we've both been through. You're here on the set of Youth Uncut, and you've been able to see this journey, but I've been privileged to watch soccer become more accessible, starting with my students in my school, right? Like, you were coming at both schools I was at. You came and you taught soccer in our gym.
Yep.
Gym class. You taught soccer in our after school program. Yep. And so, I really want people to understand, when you first started, how did you take soccer from just an idea to actually doing it? Like, what were kind of some of those steps?
Well, the thing that really, obviously I was coaching for a while. So coaching in junior college for 18 years, being the head coach at junior college, which was an incredible experience to begin with, because I started essentially the same age as the players. Mm-hmm. So that was a learning experience in itself.
Yeah.
Coaching players very similar in age. But I took those life experiences for the 18 years and was really able to take that and really, start. Let me go back for a second, because within that junior college experience, a lot of those kids came to me super athletic, but never technically sound.
Okay. And
the reason being was because they couldn't get to an academy. Mm-hmm. One, they didn't know about academy situation, and then two, they couldn't afford it if they even knew about it. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the driving forces between even starting the academy and the foundation, to really get that going. But soccer is their passion. Everyone that knows me knows this. Mm-hmm. I refuse to walk around without my gift. Yeah. My gift being the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Once you see me, you see me with the ball. Yeah. At some point or another. Even if you see me downtown, I'm going to have a ball. Yeah. So that's obviously the passion, but I had to have a purpose. Yeah. So the academy is the passion. The foundation is the purpose.
Yeah.
To make soccer affordable and accessible. Just a quick backstory. My oldest son, one day I was walking out the door and he said, "Dad, are you going to soccer or are you going to work?" Technically, soccer was work too, but there was a difference in the way how I treated the game when I left the house. Yeah. So when an 8-year-old tells you that, that jump started everything. I mean, literally, I think it was 2 weeks later, I was at the meeting with you. Yeah. At Boardroom Bosses.
Wow. And so that was October 23rd, 2016, that we met. And made the decision that we were going to go all in. We're coming up on 5 years now.
Baby's 5 years.
5 years, I know. And listen, I got my nonprofit paperwork on November 14th, 2016. And so I think about, December 14th, 2016. I filed on the 14th. But so I really want to help youth to understand, because I'm going to cut this up and edit this and get this out. And I want youth to understand how long it takes to make a dream a reality. And so, you're at the point now, I know you've talked about where things are coming in a lot, but what was it in the beginning?
In the beginning, it was tough. I mean, like everything else, starting from the ground, like literally from the mud, from the dirt. It was a challenge. Yeah. You have to be patient though. And like when something's your gift and it's something you're absolutely passionate about, it's going to take time. But if you're all in and you said it has to work, like there's no second option.
Absolutely.
Like this is going to work.
How many people did you start with we're at Myers?
Oh my gosh!
So, that program is grown. They talk about that. How that program.
So Myers obviously is the hub for our.
And where is that located?
58th and King Session.
Okay.
I mean that is the absolute hub, the beginning. Like it's funny because anytime you type in RR, it says Myers is like my home location. Yeah. Which is pretty cool because we started with like 1 or 2 kids, literally every weekend. For the first, I would say 2 years, it was like we had 1 kid, you had 2 kids, we had 4 kids, we had 10 kids, we had 12, and then it just kept going and going, and I stuck with it because it's something that I'm absolutely passionate about. But it takes time. The 1 kid didn't deter me. The 5 didn't deter me. The having 12 didn't deter me. I knew at some point it was going to grow to a point where I'm going to have more kids than I actually can handle. Yeah. And I'm going to need all of my college guys to come help me out, which is now a reality. Yeah. But then at that time, like the 1 kid was all I needed. Yeah. For me to keep going, because all I needed to do is impact that 1 child. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the goal, like just to impact 1 child at a time. And for anyone that's wanted to start anything, I think people want bigger instantaneously. And I think the goal is to just get better. Absolutely. So my thing was like, if I get better, if I focus on getting better every day, eventually the clientele is going to tell me I need to get bigger. Absolutely. Like my impact is going to make me get bigger. Yeah. But if I just focus on being better and focus on the quality versus the quantity, I mean, like right now that's coming to fruition right now. Yeah. I literally just focused on the quality for the 4 years going into the 5th now. And the baby, like we said, the baby's going to be 5 years, November 26th. I mean, the baby's running. Yeah.
That's incredible, man. And I know that soccer has been a part of your life, forever, and, since you were a young kid. How has soccer shaped your family, your boys? How do you instill, values in your boys through soccer? Talk about soccer in terms of your family.
I mean, there's so much that happens in the game, structurally, the work ethic involved to start off. Actually, for leadership purposes. One of my biggest things about soccer is leadership. I think that has helped me grow tremendously in my life. Like, I feel like any situation I'm in, I can lead by example now. And everyone leads in their own way. And like for me as a coach, that's one of the things I focus on all the time as far as teams are concerned. I'm like, if I have 11 players, I need 11 leaders. I do not want any followers on my team. And I always go through this, even with the 8, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. I want all leaders. Everyone leads their own way. Someone's going to be more vocal. Someone's going to be more technical. Someone's going to be more physical, right? But they all lead in their own way, right? So that's how soccer has primarily shaped me. But it's also to control what you can control.
Yeah.
Right? The things that I tell my boys the most is the two main things you can control is effort and attitude. If you put your all into something, I guarantee you more than likely going to get the desired result that you came to get.
Absolutely.
Right? So like the effort that you have to give it your all, not 40%, not 60%, not 75, all 100% all the time.
Yes.
And then your attitude, man, you have to come into it just thinking, all right, I'm going to have the best attitude about every situation possible that could possibly happen today, regardless of whatever happens.
Yeah.
I might have forgot my shin guards. Okay. I might get kicked once or twice. I'm still going to have, because I'm here playing, I'm having fun.
Absolutely.
My water might be warm. I'm still going to have the best attitude because now I can just I can stay hydrated, but it's not as refreshing as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Right. Attitude counts. And not only that, it helps the rest of the group. If you have a great attitude, the rest of the group follows that.
Absolutely.
Same thing with effort.
Absolutely.
So those are the two things that I think me and my boys, that I go for my boys a lot. Control what you control, and effort and attitude. And then affirmations, of course. Yeah. Like I go over that with everyone I run into. It doesn't matter the program. And having mentors as well is key. Yeah. But man, like affirmation wise, I know you're big on affirmations also.
Reminding yourself, the constant reminder, man.
You have to.
You have to.
Like you have to. And like the ones that I use all the time. Once again, back to the leader, right? I am a leader. And I go to my boys every morning. Now my 7-year-old, like if I go past a certain stoplight or stop sign, he's like, Dad, are we gonna do it? Like he doesn't let me get to school before we do. Wow. We have to do it. Wow. So even if I don't do it before we get to that, and it's a stoplight that we go to on the way to school, like if I pass that, he's like, Dad, are we doing it? He is a constant reminder for him. Yeah. But we always start off with, I'm a leader. I'm smart. Yeah. I'm strong. I'm smart. And I am going to change the world. I love it. Just lead by example every day. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Be strong. Right? I'm strong. Be strong every day in whatever you do. Yeah. Yeah. And I want you to be a critical thinker. I want you to be smart. Right? And that's something I tell my players all the time. I want smart players because it's a mathematician's game. It's all about angles.
And these are all skills that you can see readily accessible on the field.
On the field.
Right? Like, and if you teach people to be cognitive thinkers, to think about what you're thinking about, right? Like when you're on the field, be aware. Like I remember being an athlete. Aware. I remember being an athlete and just everything was a blur because I was just in the moment, not really aware of my surroundings, right? You're just there, right there. And I think, sports, if you have good quality coaching, that's the one thing that you can do to help that particular thing that you're doing translate to life. It's like, listen, if you go through that sport right now as a blur, if you go through that game a blur and you're not practicing being aware, present in the moment, you can't do that in life either.
No, man, look, I'm going to go. Awareness is key, especially for soccer. Yeah. Right? Like, I go through this analogy with the kids all the time because you'll have kids that come onto the field, it'd be like, just tunnel vision, or just on the ball. I'm like, no. And I always like you see the bobblehead dolls and you're always like, they're always looking around, right? They're aware of what's happening. Yeah. They're constantly looking around. I'm like, would you go across the street over there without looking left or right? You're like, no. I was like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, Coach, I get hit by a car. It's the same thing on the field. Why would you go into traffic in the middle of the field and not look left or right? You're going to get hit by an opponent. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I want you to be aware at all times on the field. Yeah. Like awareness is key. And once again, that's the thing in life, right? You got to be aware of your surroundings. Absolutely. Aware of what's happening in the world. Absolutely. Right? And that's just going to help you through life in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to kind of talk about some of the future, for you as a soccer instructor, with R&R Soccer Academy. Where do you see this going, in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years? Like when you talk about making soccer more accessible in the city of Philadelphia, right? Like that's a big undertaking.
Absolutely.
And so, where do you see this right now? What's the next thing for you?
I mean, fortunately for me, like there's a lot of people that's come into my life and program that has definitely helped this process.
Yeah.
One, there's been some incredible donors that's helped, not just financially, but with their time to help this vision of mine come to life. And now, other people have seen that vision. Other people have seen like, this is a fantastic idea and I want to get involved. And now RR is contracted with several other nonprofits. One major one is the SWAG program. I mean, we just took 3 kids from Philadelphia to Orlando for a 33 national tournament, which they won, which is quite incredible. Yeah. And these are the opportunities that are afforded through that program, which is now running in 7 days a week now since we started that. Started revamping the program in January. Wow. So now we're running 7 days a week. So every day of the week is a different location. And then we just added futsal Sunday. So that's one phase. Yeah. From our perspective of, making soccer affordable and accessible. On the flip side of that, obviously the pandemic was tough for everyone in the world. Yeah. Right. But it's also opened up some different areas that necessarily wouldn't have been there without that. Yeah. And, I've been able to take advantage of seeing the rest of the world through telecommunications. Yeah, absolutely. Zoom has been a huge part of, the growth for RR. Yeah. I got to train kids in the Caribbean. I got to train kids in England. Yeah. And which was pretty cool coming through, from a pandemic perspective. Yeah. But future-wise, I can see RR, especially in the Caribbean setting, being more visible and helping a ton of kids from the Caribbean side. Okay. Which is going to be pretty cool. I've had clubs reach out already, and we're just waiting for the opportunity now to go to get it done. Yeah. The location is already set. The players are already there. It's just a matter of getting there now and getting it done. So that's where I see RR for the future from an international standpoint. But domestically also just kind of, triggered this whole the SWAG program that we're contracted with to kind of extend throughout the several other cities. Yeah. Obviously, Philadelphia is going to be the catalyst for it, and it has been the catalyst for it.
I got to tell you, man, I'm so proud to have the privilege to have seen this start. As I said, we started in a small business program called Boardroom Bosses. Yep. Where both of us were in there, had no clue what we were doing, but we had a passion, right? And that's where it started. It started with just kind of knowing that you wanted to do something, but not quite sure what to do next, just what to do. But honestly, I think one thing that I realized is that you just have to start.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta just do something. It could be the wrong thing, right?
Yeah, you absolutely. Never know. But you got to learn, right?
You got to learn. It really is a blessing. And so, as we talk about youth development through soccer, the Focus Youth Network has 3 core values, right? It's wellness and nutrition education, character development, and college and career readiness. So for R&R Soccer Academy, do you guys have any core values? Do you have something, or even just personally, a personal, just belief system that has rooted R&R?
It's impact. Yeah. We want to impact as many lives as possible through the game. Yeah. Yeah. That is it, because there's every child wants to get on that expressway of freedom, of education, right? Like,
can I back you up?
Yes.
I want to back you up because I know you, but I know the audience doesn't.
Okay.
I know you. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Barbados.
You're originally from Barbados.
Yeah.
So how has soccer affected or impacted your life then? And does that play a role into your passion right now? Or how does that play?
I mean, a huge role. I think, like, because I know, like, a lot of kids, like, see, like, the whole social media thing as a huge impact. So I remember one time I posted a picture of me in Barbados.
Just make sure. Yeah, go ahead.
In Barbados, in the back of my house.
Yeah.
And it was with me with a ball that my aunt is from Philadelphia also. My dad's side lives in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. She used to bring me one ball a year. I'm not sure if you know, but it's like a ball that has all the flags on it. You used to get it from the gas station.
Okay.
Right. This one
side. I think I do remember that ball. Yes. Had all the flags.
All the flags. Yep. I used to look forward to that ball once a year. Right.
Yeah.
I used to look forward to those cleats once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But there's a picture of me in the back of my house, and I'm in my house. But you can see outside through the wood paneling. Yeah. It literally looks like this.
Yeah.
I'm in my house, but you can see outside.
Wow.
There's holes there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So soccer has given me so much and has gotten me to a point and that's why I'm so grateful for everything that I have.
Yeah.
And every I guess all the energy that I put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I came from that.
Yeah.
Right? To where I'm at today. And I think that in the impact of the ball and all those previous coaches helped me get to a point where I love the game so much that I want to make sure every kid either loves the game or just love being getting out and playing.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go pro. Like, that's not the goal.
Absolutely.
Right? The goal is to develop youth through the game. Mm-hmm. Granted, I have some incredible athletes that I train.
Yeah.
Right. One is actually training today. She actually trained from 2 to 5 for the youth national team today.
This is one of the ponytail assassins?
This is one of the ponytail assassins.
Okay, absolutely. I've seen them.
Right.
I love it.
She actually trained today from 2 to 5.
Okay.
For the youth national training center. Yeah. So I'm waiting to hear back now how that went today.
Okay.
And that's a huge deal, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, like I said, not everyone has to go pro, but soccer has given me so much. From a leadership perspective, from character building, right, to just having the ability to say, I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and to be part of something.
Yeah,
because it's hard to build things with others.
Yeah,
right. You come into this world by yourself, and you're like, okay, how do I figure this out? Yeah, right. And soccer gives you, at least for me, soccer has given me the ability to work with so many people, especially like yourself. Right? Like that boardroom bosses really set the tone for us to be where we're at. Like absolutely. I'm sitting in your building.
It's incredible, right? That is incredible.
Like I'm sitting in your building, right? Which is really cool because we even talked about you having this building. Yeah. And when you did it, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yes. You know, it's like that pursuit of happiness moment. When he's outside, he's like,
yeah, man.
That's the moment I had, the moment I had for you was like, I was like, yo, he did it. He said he was going to do it and he did it. And, like that's what we're doing. We're following our passion.
Absolutely. Because it has to work or it has to work. Like I couldn't imagine not doing this. But at the same time, it's always been as this has happened, I've always been like, yo, I gotta make sure my day ones, like we're rocking together.
Absolutely.
We're in this together, like, because we know what it's been. We know what it's been.
Dude, I mean, when you talk about day ones, I mean, I think it was, what was that center in the Northeast?
The Lenfest Center.
The Lenfest Center.
Yeah.
Like you took me there several times. Like, I had my ball on my waist, hugging it. We were talking to the parents and the kids there talking about it. And this was like the beginning.
Yeah.
And like you taking me to the school and then I'm coming back and like talk about
just to get those reps, right?
Just to get those reps. Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously majority of my reps are usually on the field.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I love the reps. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I truly enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
A lot of days, it's going to sound very like corny and stuff, but a lot of days I don't need my alarm.
Yeah.
Because I pop up and be like,
oh,
dude, I get to go play today.
Hey, man, your purpose wakes you up in the morning.
Every day, like, I get to go play. Because it's funny because when I go to coach in the evening, or sometimes when the daycare is in the morning, and the staff in the daycares, or sometimes the kids in the evening, be like, Coach, so what do you do all day?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I play all day. They'll be like, what do you mean? I was like, I coach all day. They're like, so do you work? I'm like, no. Like, no. So they were like, hold on. What do you mean you don't work? So isn't this, and the kids be like, isn't this work? Yeah. I'm like, no, I do not see this as work. Yeah. I literally get to play all day. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. Yeah. And they feel that. Absolutely. They feel that enjoyment.
Absolutely. I think those things, like your passion certainly oozes from you. It is what I love is that you are unapologetic about soccer, and we're coming down to the end of our time. So I want to make sure that we leave our audience with just one thing. If you could say in 30 seconds, one word of advice for kids, legit 30 seconds, one word of advice. Go ahead.
Let's see. Champions do ordinary things better than everyone else.
Champions do ordinary things better than anyone else. It's the little things that matter.
Focus on the little things. Focus on the little things that you're good at.
Absolutely.
And eventually those build up to be really big things.
Yeah. I love that. Real quick, we talk about momentum, right? And those little wins in our lives, those little things. That's why I talked about reps. It's those little wins in our lives that allow us to build that momentum, that allow us to feel that sense of self-efficacy that you can actually do something and get your dreams accomplished. And so, Ryan, man, I appreciate you joining me today. I appreciate all that you're doing for R&R Soccer Academy. And if you ever need me to do a little flip, a kick, or something like that, little rainbow over the head, man, let me know. I got you. All right?
Got you.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Guys, this has been Youth Uncut. This is R&R Soccer Academy, Ryan Griffith. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next time. Peace.